I'm here. It's Ari Dibirnia. God, that name. Could have named me anything. What's everybody up to? B&R Racing said I was doing my live streams too late, so I figured I'd like to at least do one a week that he could attend. What are we getting into? How is this lovely Saturday afternoon treating everyone else? We got no one in here. So I guess until we get a few people in the chat, I'll sing sea shanties. All right. Me bully boys of Liverpool, I'd have you to beware. When you're sailing a package ship, no dungaree jumpers wear. No, I'm kidding. I'm not going to sing sea shanties. Oh, man. A glass of whiskey all around, and a bottle full for the shanty men. What am I missing, folks? How did the week treat you? Where is everybody? Probably doing something cool on a Saturday afternoon. Unlike myself. I was going to take a cruise in the truck here, but it started raining on me, so I was just like, all right, probably I'll hold off on that. It's not raining so much now, which is something. But just the same. We shall see. Do something here. It's raining. I guess I go do some burnouts or something. Make some use of myself here. There was Jack Minch from Ballynahinch, Mike Murphy, and some more. I'll tell you, well, they suffered like hell on the way to Baltimore. Jeez, what do we got here? Got some class acts rolling in. That's a full 3 minutes of me talking to myself. What are you going to do, I guess? Probably busy folks enjoying their Saturday afternoon. Beautiful fall Saturday afternoon. You got some rain. A little bit of rain. They pawned their gear in Liverpool, and they sailed as they did stand. And there blows some cold nor'westers on the banks of Newfoundland. So we'll scrape her and we'll scrub her with holy stone and sand. Hey, we got Rich in the chat. What's going on, brother? I've been talking to myself for like 3 minutes, Rich. How are you? I've been singing sea shanties. Not much, Rich. I was getting ready to take a cruise, go run a couple errands, but it started raining on me and I lost my motivation. So I was like, hey, I'm going to go live and rant at some people. Hey, Johnny C's in the chat saying, first time on your live listening. Johnny, I'm sorry, man. I've been ranting to myself for a good, 3 minutes here. I'm sorry for the sea shanties, too. That's how I pass the time. But welcome, Johnny. Glad to have you, man. Rich is saying, I just got the notification. Yeah, we'll probably get a couple people in here. I didn't know. I thought, what can I do that's even mildly productive? And I'm kind of holding off on the work on this truck until next week. I have some maintenance to do on the ladies' car tomorrow, but that's tomorrow, so. Thanks, Johnny. But the, yeah, Rich is saying we babble here. Yeah, pretty much, Johnny. It's We discuss classic cars mostly, a lot of food. Lately, we've been talking about cats because I have a cat that I'm always complaining about. Um, Not much. A lot of cars. Maybe not even classics. Sometimes imports, modern cars. A lot of us just gripe. So if you have anything that's bothered you this week, it's a good place to air that. If you have any discrepancies. Alva's in the chat 4 minutes ago. Hey everyone, what's going on, Al? It started raining on me, man. I was gonna go cruise the truck by the beach, and I'm like, well. But yeah, mellow day over here. Alva was saying, yeah, the air show in HB. That's right. That's right. I got a couple buddies out there. They probably tried to invite me too, but I'm such a shut-in, it don't happen. The kids at the music school here are getting dropped off. All the little posh kids. All the posh schooling children. Such a beautiful thing. Johnny C saying, got too many cats, going broke feeding them. Somehow they find my house to have kittens. I mean, yeah, that's cool you take care of them, man, but cat food is not cheap, man. This cat's getting kind of old, so I buy him the decent stuff. It ain't cheap. Damn, cat eats better than me. Add Zero's in the chat. Add Zero, what's going on, brother? I was experiencing boredom. Oh, there we go. Rich just linked one of Johnny's videos, saying Johnny has a 67 Malibu. Nice, John. That's a pretty sweet car, man. That's the Pulp Fiction car, isn't it? If I'm not mistaken. Mexican Spec is in the chat. Howdy, brother. How are you? What's going on down south? John's had it since '87. Nice, man. I wasn't even around in '87. That's good you hold on to it, though. That's what matters. How many people do you hear? It's like, well, I had this car until I sold it. I had this car until I sold that. And I wish I still had that, but got to hold on to them. At Zero's driving for work. Just listening. I don't know what the hell these people are doing. Bless their hearts, though. Rich is saying, I'm the resident stalker. Yeah, Rich has been stalking Shell for some time. Mexican Spec saying, I am really tired. I drove 2 hours away to buy a Beetle, but it was a bust. Then my truck broke twice. That's the Durango, right, Mexican Spec? It's giving you a little bit of trouble lately, right? Mopar Man 1978 is in the chat. Howdy, brother. How are you? Oh, Mexican Spec saying yesterday, huh? What was wrong with the Beetle? You know me, I don't really do Volkswagens, man. I don't know Volkswagen. It's raining on me again. Light rain. But light rain makes people drive like crap out here, so. The left front caliper wouldn't let go, so we had to block it off. Then the radiator started leaking. Oh, dang. Paint on the car wasn't good enough for what we were spending. You know me, I'm very anti-clear coat. Anti-clear coat, indeed. Mexican Specs, and I drove 200 kilometers towing a trailer with 3 brakes on the wheels. That's no good at all. That is no good at all. Johnny C saying, nice to meet all. Usually you follow along UTG every Sunday. Rainy here in NorCal too. Yeah, well, John, that's pretty much where all of us That's why I started doing live streams, was when Tony stopped doing his Sunday lives. I kind of wanted a place for everybody to congregate and talk still. And I'll do an after the Tony. I don't know if you've ever seen any of those. I'll do an after the Tony on Sunday nights. My joke is that Tony's SNL and I'm midnight at the Apollo. Mexican Spec saying it wasn't a clear coat, it just wasn't a good job, and it was bubbling and had a lot of nicks. I mean, I don't care how you paint it, man. It's still a Volkswagen. Rich is saying, I love the old lacquer cars. You can always polish it up. Yeah. Rich, it's kind of a shame on this truck. They threw like a Mako paint job over it. I think they try to do that whole like 90s monochrome thing. Just a real lazy kind of, I'm going to give this truck a different look effect. But they painted over my rust and Neptune green, which is just kind of sad, you know what I mean? It's not ideal. These poor confused people. Oh man, bless them. Pray for all you guys. Look at him. Oh, look at him. I wish I could have a $70,000 vehicle and not know how to drive it. Mopar Man saying, I worked 6 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. today. Not used to that early of a shift. That'll get you sometimes, Mopar Man, especially you're not used to it. That's my favorite schedule, though, 6 to 2. My absolute favorite schedule. Mexican Spec saying, to tell the truth, there was no pulling to the right, and the brake pedal was the best it had ever been. The brakes are fixed now. Rebuilt the calipers. Now the radiator's at the shop getting fixed. Damn, man. Yeah, I guess the stuck caliper put more strain on the cooling system. Probably poked, got the last little bit out of your radiator. That's no good. This truck's running all right. I finally fixed that exhaust leak. This insane $7 set of exhaust gaskets. A whopping $7 to cure that completely obnoxious exhaust leak. Mexican Spec saying, I'm looking for another Beetle for my client. My traveling expense budget was blown though. Mopar Man saying, I have to adjust the kickdown linkage on the D150 since I put that thermoquad on. Now I just have to make a custom bracket for the manual choke. At Zero saying, a dime holding up $1. Yeah, no, it was a mellow day over here. Nothing crazy. Had some coffee, had some breakfast. I was like, I want to go do something with myself. And the second I got out here, it started raining on me. I was like, a little single tear in my eye. I guess I could still go out and do something, but it gets crowded and dangerous around here. Folks been watching too much Fast and Furious, I guess. Yeah, it's raining down here. Finally started. It was all windy and cloudy all morning. I was waiting for it, but it's really not raining much. It's not a lot. Again, I'm not worried about the weather so much as people around here. It's pretty hard to get around even on a normal day. Johnny C saying, my sister loves her 67 Bug. I remember they were so popular in the late 80s. Most kids I knew back then were fixing them up. Yeah, a lot of folks have one laying around. They used to have, pretty much when I grew up, everybody had one stuffed in the garage. I've just never messed with them. Rich is saying the rain is stopping there. Rain for 2 days. Yeah, it might. I hope it's not raining tomorrow. I actually have stuff to do tomorrow. But oh man. I don't know why it's so mind-boggling to me to see people like because it's a giant parking lot. There's all kinds of. I mean, I guess if it's raining, you kind of got an excuse, but just to park in a red zone, to drop off your kids. I don't know. I'm like an old curmudgeon now. Johnny C saying that's the problem here as well. My client mostly wants mostly original cars made from 91 to 98. Nothing good was made in the 90s Mexican spec. I speak from experience. Hey, Dean's in the chat. Howdy, Dean. How are you, man? Yeah, a little bit of rain. A lot of dumb people. California. Lovely California. The land of palm trees and identity crises. At Zero is out. He must go toil. Toiling his life away. Alva's saying 90s was a good time for dirt bikes. Dean saying great music. Where'd you hear System of a Down, Dean? I don't listen to that crap. That's like Army Reservist butt rock. Dean saying she adopted me out, Rich. There you go. You guys can hear a little bit of rain now. On my tin roof here. Rich just can't say I blink. But yeah, I got rid of that. Bad Tree Production saying, damn, you're still alive from last night? Just barely, Blake. Just barely. I was up past my bedtime. I had a small glass of wine. What's going on, Blake? How are you, brother? A boring Saturday over here, man. I was about to go cruise and it started raining on me. These people have heard me say that 5 times. I'm sorry. Oh, poor man. See, I'm getting the projects done little by little. Mexican spec. The 225 rear molar extraction put a damper on money towards the projects, but I feel much better. Yeah, why is dental work so expensive? You ought to go to Mexico, Mopar, man. The ticket and the dental work would have cost a little less, probably. Okay, I'll start this thing up so you guys can hear it. Doesn't have an exhaust leak now. No exhaust leak. No ticking. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. It's good it didn't diesel when you guys are watching. It's always nice when she skips that step. Rich is making a good point here. He's saying Dean is the most quick-witted person on YouTube. Dean is quite a quick-witted person. He's quite the linguist as well. Bad Tree Productions is watching football and racing, checking out some YouTube. Sounds mellow, man. It's a good way to spend a Saturday afternoon for sure. Rain. We're not used to this out here. California don't rain too much. So I mean, this year was it was squalling a little bit. We had a hurricane. David Hernandez is in the chat. Welcome, David. How are you? Mexican Spec saying it took about 7 minutes for him to pull my tooth and it came out complete. Mexican Specs saying it took me 4 weeks to pay him his 1,500, and he was fine with that. That's like, but that's 1,500 pesos, guys. So that's like $16 or something, like 16.50, I think. David Hernandez is doing good. Glad to hear it, man. Glad to hear it. We're over here yapping. Dave Hernandez going to sub. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. It's just the channel's pretty, it's pretty lighthearted. There's not really anything educational or nothing. Just me cruising around the truck most of the time or whatever I'm working on at the time. If I see anything interesting in the meanwhile, I try to record it. Oh, Mexican Spec saying my dentist charged me 1,500 pesos to pull my molar. That's about $88 US. You missed the first. Yeah, it's much more reasonable down there, and they do good work. That's, I told you I go down there to Tijuana to get my glasses, and it saves me a ton of money. Dave Hernandez, I'm doing well, man. It was a boring Saturday over here. I was like, what can I do with myself that's semi-productive? And I couldn't think of much, so I figured I'd go live on YouTube and yap at my buddies a little bit. Rich is saying Dave needs some subs. You guys go on over and subscribe to Dave Hernandez. David Hernandez. Sorry, I don't mean to shorten your name. I do that. Dean saying your tooth's gone. He should be paying you. Was the tooth filled with platinum? Yeah, why is it? You know what I mean? They take your blood, they charge you. Should charge them for my blood. Take your tooth, they charge you. You go do a drug test for a job, they charge you. They take your urine and they charge you. I know it's just urine, but you couldn't make it. I made that. God, I'm dumb. I'm sorry, guys. I apologize. I apologize. Mopar Man's saying, Mexican Spec, here in my area, not only is it expensive, but most places are booked up months. Also, Medicaid, now considering as kids as young as 12, 12-year-olds as adults now. Overloaded system. Yeah, I could imagine. Russell from Outfits Garage, he just got a tooth pulled too. And the most shocking thing about that to me is I did not know that they had dentists in Arkansas. And you also just told me that there's dentists, unless you have to cross the border to go to Kansas or something, Mopar Man. I didn't know there were dentists in Missouri either. I'm an ass. Blake's teeth are good. Mom's in the chat, the food nerd. Howdy, Mom. Mexican Spec saying, I can't argue with the treatment I get here. My dentist gets me in when I need it. I've been going to him for over 20 years. He's Japanese. Nice. Blake's saying, interesting. Yeah, exactly, Blake. I didn't know. You go your whole life just thinking one thing, and then you learn another. Rich is saying Dean needs the subs as well. Let's go to the No Name Nationals next year. It's a little bit of a trip for Dean, but it'd be cool to see him out there for sure. Dean would have to announce the race. No one could announce that race better than Dean. Jeez, Mom. I'd read that one aloud, but you can't say the S word on YouTube. They get upset. Only 8,333.33 miles. Wow. Ow. And I'm complaining about 1800. Mexican Spec saying, if any of you guys have Instagram, you should be following me. I just posted a 1999 Chevrolet Tigra. It was sold for 1 year in Mexico, only 3 months in Brazil. It's a cute car. Tigra. You ever hear the band La Tigre, Mexican Spec? Pretty solid band. Yeah, it's just raining over here. Show you guys some rain on the windshield here. Beautiful, beautiful Apache wraparound windshield. Oh, there's a train. Coastal Surfliner. Moon pies, horseshoes, Miller Light Tap. That used to be my old shifter. Ham and Scram, my favorite place for breakfast. Yeah, big old windshield. It's like it doesn't end. It's like 10 miles of windshield. This guy parked this piece of crap Toyota next to me. Parked really close to the truck. I actually took the jack and moved. I straightened his truck out. Took the liberty there. EFI and Toyota. Two things I don't want on my truck. Thanks, John. Yeah, she's a decent old truck. I'd go outside and do it out. I guess I could probably just go ahead and show you the truck. Yeah. I'll risk getting washed away. Turn around, camera. Turn around. Yeah, good old 1960. A bunch of crap in the bed. I don't know why I have these two bias ply tires. I don't think that's going to be a future video or anything. What a world, what a world. Mexican Spec saying, Ari, the seller says, okay, confirmed, it's number 400 or 470 cars sold. Neen saying, you need a Karen video, Ari, let me talk to them. There's quite a few out here. This is like Karenville, population. I mean, I go to Trader Joe's, which is like it's not a health food market, but they sell organic stuff, you know, kind of, it's a bit hippied out at best. But if I go there at the right time, it's like a Karen field trip just got dropped off. Mike saying burnout contest. Yeah. Those are the old Blake, those were the tires that were on the truck when I bought it. I think they're stamped from like 70 something. You can burn the hell out of those. We're all family here, Johnny. Yeah, hell yeah. It's kind of like a big, strange family. Mopar Man saying, my buddy says up here he lives 45 miles away. A Dr. Chen, Asian dentist. My buddy says he's super cheap. The way he described his dentist reminds me of Rodney Dangerfield's Dr. Billy Boombats. Johnny C saying, I saved one JCPenney bias tire that was a spare inside the trunk of my Malibu. It's like new still. That's so awesome, man. I like when they stay preserved. There are a few tires, these old white wall bias plies off of a Wildcat at the last shop I was working at that I really wanted. I should probably just go ask about them. I'll probably toss them out if I don't. I just need more space to hoard, really. I spend a lot of mornings looking on OfferUp and Craigslist, just trying to hoard different parts, and I'm like, you don't have a place for this. Stop. But it's soothing to look through the junk. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but hoarding is life. Blake, if you're still here, when are you gonna jump on the engine for the Death Pumpkin? Opar Man saying you can protect tires by spraying them with silicone spray, not the petroleum-based tire shines. Yeah, always looking at junk. I really, especially now that I got the 350 in the truck, I don't have an engine on the engine stand. I have two engine stands too, so it's like I need. There's a Chevy 6, a 292 6 that I've had my eye on for a few months now, and I really want to look for a big block. I have problems. Mexican Spec saying today on my classic tire. Yeah, that's one of my favorite segments of Cold War Motors is the classic darts and the classic tires. And they find the old smokes in the car and smoke. It's kind of hard to watch, but Rich is saying the poor girl's named Karen are getting a bad rap. Oh, I mean, it's like, it's stereotypical out here, Rich. Like the giant sunglasses, the workout clothes. I'll be in the grocery store and I'll just kind of like, my senses will just be tingling and I'll just like, just look behind me and there'll be one waiting there. Like I've been taking an eternity looking at whatever. Anyway, I don't like people behind me. I'm taller, so people get in my blind spot, and it's kind of a peeve of mine. Which is a segment that I wanted to add to the live stream is, a weekly gripe. Like what's something insignificant that pissed you off this week? Do you guys have anything? Johnny C saying too many oddities collected over 61 years. King Clutter. I don't blame you, John. You probably got some really cool stuff, man. Shell is in the chat, getting stalked by Rich. Mexican Spec saying, I need 4 15-inch tire tubes, but they don't sell them here anywhere. Dean saying, the term Karen might be racist. What about Karens? Karens and Farsi again? Mom saying, I have a good friend named Karen. Yeah, my mother-in-law is named Karen. Yeah, no, I mean, I guess it is technically a slur, but it's not really like racially applied. So it's not racist, but it's still kind of a slur. Mopar Man saying, or use Chem Guy's rubber plastic vinyl protectant on the tires as well. Make sure to use your polypropylene tubes from a MacGyver 007. I'm just kidding, Mopar Man. I appreciate your research, man. Mexican Spec saying, yes, I do. After we walked away from the Black Beetle, we had a blue one set up, but the owner ghosted us all day. He finally sent a message this morning, but it was too late. It was a nice car, too. I'm telling you, man, the VWs, it's a rabbit hole. It's a trap. Miss Olive Drab is in the chat. Howdy, Olive. How are you? Shell's saying, it must be Dean who's stalking both of us, Rich. I'm saying it's racist against white women. Look it up. I mean, I always thought of Karen, I don't think Karen has a color. I think I could be wrong. Cement Surfer's in the chat saying, digging that thrush cap. This one's actually a Clay Smith. This was a gift from Hubie's son. I love this thing. Thanks, though, brother. How are you? Brain Food 91. Can you say, Brain Food, I don't approve of the sport, but I will say it for you. I'll say, let's go golfing. Dean Stevenson saying, I have many friends called Karen. I apologize for the rest of mankind before I deliver brown box goods to the ladies called Karen in advance. Brain Food 91 saying, yeah, let's go. It's raining out here, Brain Food. See, it would be like Caddyshack. Brain Food 91 saying, what's your favorite car? My favorite car or favorite truck? My favorite car would probably be a 60 Pontiac Bonneville. Favorite truck is what I'm in, man. A 60 Chevy Apache 10. Correct. What about you, Brain Food? What's your favorite car, man? Olive's saying, oof, we could really use some rain here. The hay fever's getting untreatable. I'm sorry, Olive. You can take this rain. I wanted to go cruise by the beach. Hey, Hunter's in the chat. Sand Mountain Ballistics. How you doing, brother? Mopar Man saying we was kings. I don't know why everybody does that. A lot of people my age are like, what's up, king? What's up, queen? And I'm just like, it's very vain. Not really into that. Johnny C saying, I miss small trucks. I wish they could bring them back. It'd be cool if they had a smaller truck with a V8 still, John. I mean, I guess the Dakota still has one, but everything else is 6-cylinder, turbo. And as much as I like boost, I don't think I'd want to own anything that was turboed. Hunter's saying, I'm good about... Hunter, I didn't get a chance. I forgot to write it down, Hunter. I'm sorry, man. I'm brain dead. For some reason, when I get mentions on YouTube, it doesn't like to give me the notification, or it gets blurred in with a bunch of other notifications. And that's annoying because, I appreciate the mention. I got to check it out, though, brother. I'm sorry about that. My poor brain, man. But yeah, I'm doing all right, Hunter. Just hanging out in the truck here. I figured I'd do another Saturday live stream. People seemed to enjoy it last time I did. So I thought I'd do it again. Why not? Sit here and yap a little bit. Make you guys suffer more of my voice. Rich just linked Mopar Man's channel. Alba's saying Ford is coming out with a stout V8 and a base model truck. You lost me at Ford, Al. I'm just kidding. I'd have to check it out. Johnny C saying just a clean, basic work truck. Fantasy El Camino Ranchero return. Yeah, I mean, they still make them in Australia, Johnny. But, can't. But yeah, it would be nice. I really like bare bones stuff like that. Fleet trucks, the most basic of basic. It's a lot of the reason I love this truck so much is there's not so much going on at all. You know what I mean? Shell's at work and listening. Thank you, Shell. Don't let my stupidity distract you, please. Hunter's out for a little while. He's going to get some food. Right on, Hunter. Thanks for stopping in, man. Check your fluids. Shell saying, smash that thumbs up, people. Thanks, Shell. I appreciate it. I'm very reluctant to ask people to do things on YouTube. I don't know why. I'm kind of a horrible YouTuber. I don't know if you guys have noticed. But I'm still doing it. But yeah, I love this truck, how basic it is. You know what I mean? It's just, bare bones. It's all mechanical. 8-foot bed. You can't really do much better than that. Rich is linking channels. Check them out. I was saying, honestly, every time I need a truck, it tends to be bigger than like an El Camino or something. Yeah, I mean that's. I really like the full size bed. You know what I mean. I appreciate a lot of the newer trucks, but a 5 foot bed is. It sucks when you see somebody that can't even transport a love seat. You know what I mean? It's like, all right. And out here, you see a bunch of crap on the freeway from people not being able to secure the load or having too much. These people driving like 10 miles an hour with a mattress strapped to the top of their Subaru the other day. I drove by and I gave them this kind of look of pity and confusion. I knew they understood. I mean, I would have moved it for them. All I got to do is ask. You don't have to know me, just ask. Now that the rain is picking up, I'm going to guarantee that we hear engine 7 fire off within about, I'm going to say 10 minutes. I'm going to say 10 minutes, we're going to hear engine 7. Dean saying the Rangers and Everests are made in Thailand. Oh, is that what the Utes are called, or? What do we got? I don't know why it tries to censor you, Shell. It's like, no, don't let her speak. Shell saying, what do I do for a living? I deal with stupid people every day. Sounds like, yeah. I'm bad with that, Shell. That's why I could never work front of house. Mopar Man saying, where's the hippy dippy weatherman with the hippy dippy weather forecast? It's like a damn hippie love-in in here. Sweet, Alva subscribed to some channels. Yeah, I don't know if Olive has any content up, but she definitely could. Does cooler stuff than me. Hey, Holden Man TC's in the channel. Holden Man, I finally went live for you, brother. I saw those comments, but I didn't get a chance to go live on, I think it was Monday or Tuesday. I guess Tuesday or Wednesday for you. But I'm live now, brother. Glad to have you. How you doing? Mopar Man saying some of them shop at Menards. Menards. It's a hard one to say. Mexican Specs selling cars. Funky little cars. Olive saying Menards, a good store. Sanity damaging jingle played constantly inside. I'm sure Mopar Man loves that working there. Absolutely loves it. Why is it doing that? It's like it's trying to censor the word stupid, Shell. Like you can't call something stupid. You need to be able to say the word stupid, especially on my channel because you're listening to me speak. Johnny's saying, hippies, that was an interesting time to see. I remember them well. Yeah, I mean, in their original form, they really weren't, you know, it's a pretty acceptable cause for the most part. You know what I mean? You get the whole weird free love thing and the, you know, it's a little trippy, to say the least, but I don't know. Those were some good folks, and all of them ended up, you know, going to school and kind of making the world a better place and everything else, I feel like. Then you got that really cool 70s biker hippie kind of thing that's like extra psychedelic. Holden Man saying, good man, I went to Mildura on Friday for school holidays. Nice, man. I'm unenlightened. What's Mildura like? Opar Man saying tonight's weather forecast is sponsored by the Parsons Pest Control. Do you have termites, water bugs, and roaches? And we'll help get rid of the termites and water bugs and help smoke the roaches. Shell's works for a big logistics company. That's right. You do dispatch, right, Shell? It's not an easy job, especially when you're in the warehouse, and people who work in a warehouse are strange, strange folks. It's like wherever there isn't a coal mine to hide these types of people, they find a warehouse to work in. And they should probably be working in some kind of subterranean context, but they don't. I don't know. Alva's saying in the 70s I had a Schwinn Stingray. Nice. I want to get one of those for the kid. Johnny C saying, my little sister used to give them the peace sign when riding in the back of our 70s Torino wagon. She was a funny kid. Nice, man. Rich has linked Dean's channel saying, Shell, here, stock Dean. Made in Thailand. I don't know about Thai manufacturing. I haven't bought anything that was made in Thailand. I know I bought the last pair of Red Wings I bought were made in Vietnam. They held up all right. I think they're made out of some kind of yak. I don't know. Water buffalo boots. Water buffalo boots, indeed. All I'm saying, I think Thailand is making some decent stuff. Can't think of anything particular I have from there at the moment. Yeah, I can't assume it's that bad. I mean, look at I buy a bunch of Taiwanese tools that work pretty great. Yeah. Taiwan, Thailand, Vietnam. It's different than China. Shell saying, no, I'm a coordinator. I handle disputes, complaints, accidents, truck inspections, and the like. I work second shift, so no dispatching. Well, that's good, Shell. I guess that's probably a pain in the ass, but just the same, probably better than dispatching. I don't know. I'm unenlightened. When I worked in logistics, I unloaded trailers. I was a package car driver for a couple weeks, and they were like, well, we're going to need you back in the warehouse. So I think I worked there for another month. Shopcat Industries is in the chat. Howdy, Shopcat. He's saying, Brother Ari just loaded up El Bajaja in the owner's vehicle. An old Beetle. Nice. How you doing, Shopcat? How's the weekend treating you, man? Anything cool happen? Anything life-changing? Mopar Man saying, I remember the bit where Andrew Dice Clay talked about the freaks and foreign and domestic that would come into the all-night convenience store. Yeah. Yeah, you see some strange cats. Some strange cats. I wasn't ever a big Andrew Dice Clay fan. Shopcat saying, life is good. Just started work shift and getting ready for the big move. That's right. You said you're moving. Is it closer to the city? Is it closer to the city, Shopcat? Seaman Surfer is saying, hey, if any of you guys are Steve Maniate fans, watch a video or two of his every day to help him with his medical expenses. Yeah, definitely check out Steve Maniate. That guy's amazing, man. He's a real smart dude. He talks a little bit too fast for me. That's a joke. I was calling myself dumb. Steve is great. Yeah, check out Steve Maniate. Make sure to watch his videos because I think that's his source of income right now. So watch those. Not the ones that Motor Trend channel put out to try to kind of weasel off of him trending. Rich 220's in the chat. What's going on, Rich? I don't know what the hell that is. Is that a dog? I gotta look. 2 seconds, guys. I think a little Bershan poodle doesn't like the rain much. Not somebody who's hurting a dog. I was ready to kill. Holden Man TC just bought a C10 pickup. What year, Holden Man? Shopcat saying I'm moving into town, sort of a bedroom community of Edmonton. Do you have space for your stuff, Shopcat, is what I'm worried about. Are you going to have to downsize a bunch? Shell's saying mine is package delivery. I wear a lot of purple. I wore a lot of brown, Shell. A whole lot of brown. "6% recycled" is in the chat. 6%, how are you, brother? 6%. I think we got to redo the chop challenge now that I got a V8, man. I feel like I have a much stronger, entry here. Johnny C is out for the day saying, nice chatting. We'll check out your next chats for sure. Johnny, I'm usually live on Sunday nights right after Tony, but I've been trying to do a couple during the week as well. I appreciate you stopping in, man. Be safe. And what I always say is check your fluids. Shopcat saying, downsize for sure, no more Field of Dreams, but a good-sized garage. So Shopcat Industries will carry on. Nice, man. Downsizing's kind of rough, man. I'm sure that's not really ideal, but, what are you going to do, I guess? Charlie Roma's in the chat. Saying, hey, Ari, what's up, everybody? Not much, Charlie. I was sitting here just live from the truck, man. I was running my mouth. Same as ever. Mopar Man saying, Ari, you missed the really rough-looking butches that came into the lobby of the medical building yesterday. Tattoos all over, bright pink mohawks, and wearing matching Cobra Kai shirts. Look like 80s villains. Holden Man TC saying 1980 Chevy C10 Ute, do up as a project Ute for my girlfriend. Nice, man. 80s the square body's beautiful, easy to deal with. The engine that's in my truck right now, Holden Man, is an 84. So 6% saying he's up for another Rate My Chop challenge. All I'm saying, real estate costs kind of suck. Yeah, they do. It's very defeating, especially out here, when you've got two people, two incomes, people working full time, and you don't qualify for a house. And out here, a house is like some horrible hovel they've stacked on top of another house. Yeah, it's not really And it kind of sucks because when you look at like the older way of living, like the tracks they built in the 60s and everything, suburbia was already kind of a downgrade comparatively, I feel like. But those, it wasn't too bad. Some of the lots were nice. You weren't too close to your neighbors. You didn't have that horrible homeowners association, uh, you know, let's face it, that's fascist. But I'm buzzing. Mopar man sending me memes. Mopar memes. All I'm saying, I was looking at a square body just before the prices went through the roof, like 12 years ago. Baby blue and white two-tone. Very stylish. They're nice trucks, Olive. I mean, especially if the only real issue with them is the mosquito, bastard. I will get you. Ah, got him. Come to Arkansas and Mom, what am I going to do in Arkansas? I'm going to work at the Family Dollar or something. Holden Man TC is saying I'm putting a 307 Blueprint Chevy motor. What color should I go with it? I'm always for the Chevy orange, Holden Man. I know, I think they're supposed to be the blue, that era. Or I don't know if that was 70s. 80s might have been black. But I always go with the Chevy orange. I feel like the small blocks are happy with the black. They're happy with the orange. I'm saying, help me clean house. I own this house. It's rent free. I can't live with my mother. Jeez, I'm a horrible person. That's not anything to do with status or anything besides me just knowing that I would make your life harder. I'm a prick. You know this, Mom. Shopcat saying, yeah, the whole American dream turned out to be not really be sustainable. Great for earlier generations, but not so great now. My kids won't be able to buy homes without a good solid market correction. That's a bummer, Shopcat. If I was in a different state, it wouldn't be such an issue. I could probably afford something. Like if I was in Arkansas with, my mommy, I could probably afford a house and whatnot. It's just, how do I get there? How do I manage to, I don't know what I would do, but I kind of want to move up north, Washington State, because it's the income is actually higher than here, and the housing costs about 30 to 40% less than here, even less if you want to live rurally. Mopar man saying catch the mosquito with a chopstick. Olive saying if I ever properly paint the motor, I think I'll get creative and go colorful. My tastes are otherwise bland. To a lot of people, but going a bit wild in the engine bay could be fun. Yeah, Olive, I'm all for it. There's just only so many directions to go, I guess. I don't do black. I really like the machine kind of gray, the glossy gray a lot. Rich is saying Jersey isn't cheap house-wise. I bet not. Super Caldera. Holden Man TC is out. He's saying, bye, Ari, mate. I'm going to work on the Chevy C10, trying to get it done. Hey, have a great time, brother. Be safe in there. I appreciate you stopping through, man. Make sure to check your fluids. Shopcat saying, I love Detroit Diesel Green a lot. Yeah, me too, man. I did a couple shorts of that nailhead we painted, the Detroit Diesel Green, right? That's a great color. That and the gray go well together as well. That and black go well together. It looks really clean when you do black on the Detroit Diesel Green. Pure Pontiac Garage is in the chat. Howdy, John. How are you, man? Rich is saying I pay over $1,800 a month for my mortgage. Yeah, Rich, that's not bad, man. Last apartment I was looking for out here, they tried to charge me three grand a month for a two-bedroom. I told them I was all right. That's actually not the full story. They gave me a virtual tour of an apartment, and I go in and I hear something, and I'm like, "Is somebody in here working?" And they're like, "Well, no, no, of course not." And I look, and under the kitchen sink, it's just a full-on flood lake of water. The angle stop had popped off on a valve for the water, and it was just spitting full pressure. And I was like, "Hey, you got a problem here." And the lady wasn't listening to me. So she had me look at another apartment while this was still leaking, didn't do anything about it. I guess they're insured, I don't know. And then while I was looking at the other apartment, which people were working on, I felt bad interrupting people's work. It annoyed me. That's when she bumped me up from the 2,500 to the 3,025 a month for a two-bedroom apartment. I was upset. My pants were wet from the stupid angle stop leak. I finally got to when I was leaving, I went to the maintenance guy and said, "Hey, did they tell you about the leak in apartment so-and-so?" He's like, "No." I'm like, it's bad, man. It's full pressure, you know. Oh, nice dodge. Nice. All I'm saying, kind of always wanted to crinkle black some valve covers on something, I guess. Might do that on the Volvo if I get the time and inclination. Mopar Man was telling me to use a heat gun on the crinkle, and it makes the crinkle more dramatic. "6% say my mortgage on my house is $375 per month, 1,400 square feet on a half acre." 6%. That sounds. Where are you located, man? I'm moving over. Sounds great, man. You know, I'm not. You know, I'm not really a picky person at all. You know what I mean? I can live rurally. I'm not high maintenance. House doesn't have to be new. Fixtures don't really have to be too new. As long as everything works. I mean, I can make everything work. The last house that I was renting, the house was about 120 years old, 115 years old, something like that. So it was a nightmare, you know what I mean? Imagine 100 years of people's patching this and patching that. 6% saying, "Michigan, I bought the worst house on my street and fixed it up." Hey, if it works, man. I like, you know what I mean? Like I said, consider, I just explained the prices of everything out here. It's like you own something, you can manage it. Like, I don't know. Like I wouldn't even mind living in a trailer. You know what I mean? Give me a slab and some hookups, and I'll be a happy man. You know, as long as I can call it mine and put some junk around it, I'm a happy man. But out here, even that's like, you know. C-Man's saying, "I didn't know the 273 Commando valve covers were crinkle until I got a pair." That's badass. I've never seen those. Yeah, something like that would be cool. Just, I mean, I need to get my ducks in a row, and I'll probably get out of this state, escape, just like Snake Plissken. Yeah, 6%. I mean, like, you know, I mean, high price. That stuff's relative to me. I mean, especially nowadays. You know what I mean? People will out here. You know, they go through their whole house and they gut it and they change everything. So that's kind of cool to see. I've seen some cool stuff. I don't mind. a little bit of modernizing, but I can't help it. I really like cheesy 70s stuff. I really do. I probably shouldn't. I know everyone hates it, but I love cheesy 70s stuff. %. I'm in Southern California, Orange County. Pretty much the southernmost point of Orange County. I'm like a little less than 2 hours away from Mexico, and I'm a couple miles from the beach right now. Shopcat saying the cheapest houses we just looked at were over 300,000 for total dumps. One place is down to 389 from 429, and the garage needs to be totally torn down. Never mind the horrible house. Yeah, I mean, Shopcat, they want to charge that much for absolute hovels out here. You can't get into anything for less than $500,000, and it's just not worth it. And a lot of what they try to sell you is townhomes as well, which is like a glorified condo. I just don't want to be sharing walls with people, Caesar Trex is in the chat. What's going on, brother? How are you? See, only big ballers live where you do. It's not true, Caesar. This place is horrible. It's like Brazil, man. I live in the favela. I'm not into it much out here, you know what I mean? There's not, even if I, all of a sudden, jumped into a new career and was making enough to fork over for one of these houses, I know that I wouldn't be able to live the lifestyle that I want to live out here, you know what I mean? I'd get a fine slapped on me every day. I just need somewhere where I can park junk and, Luckily, when I lived in the ghetto, I could still test the ammo I reloaded. That's a joke. It's a joke. Mom's saying, I'm gutting and redesigning my kitchen by myself. Yeah, Mom's husband is very soft-handed. Bless him, though. He's supposed to be smart. I'm an ass. Hey, Ricky from G-Ray Racing just went live. Just got that notification. Some No Name Nationals footage. Damn, more skeeters. See, I need the chopsticks, Mopar man. Shopcat saying, I spied 3 old cars in my neighbor's backyard. That was a good sign. We met him briefly. He's not quite all there, but at least he won't call the cops on me. Caesar saying, I see Hubie's has been talking to you about moving. Yeah, Hubie was he's almost geared up to move out of state. He's kind of on the fence about where. But he was talking about how much stuff he has, and I offered to help him move some of it, another driver, another set of hands, just because I know what a pain that can be. And it's, it's not like he can leave his cars behind. They're like family members. And he's got a lot of stuff to move, I guess. So, I mean, all of us do. It'd be the same thing for me. I got this truck, I got the Dart, I got a 8 by 20 storage unit that's about ass crammed full. 6% saying No Name was a blast. I'm glad I went. It looked great, man. And Blake from Bad Tree got so much good footage. It was just a whole angle of the race you wouldn't normally see. I don't know. It just seemed like such a great time. I was stoked for you guys. I was a little bummed out I couldn't be there, but I mean, you can only be so bummed. I guess it's it's more fulfilling seeing you guys have a good time just the same. Chris Greenaway's in the chat. Howdy, Chris. He's saying last big car show of the season was 26 degrees Celsius. Chris, you know I don't know what that is. Feel nice, crispy, and sunburnt. Caesar saying, I told Hubie I have transport friends. Caesar, I was thinking about that because my whole thing was I wanted to drive this truck up north. But the cost of a vehicle transport isn't really that ridiculous, compared to what I would spend on fuel and, God forbid something breaks, I'm gonna end up costing me a bunch. But yeah, Caesar, it's pretty dang cool, man. Now the Dart, I'll probably end up just rolling onto the railroad tracks. I'm just kidding. All I'm saying, I was really lucky with my first landlord. He and the kids were hot rodders, so he didn't mind me rebuilding dusters in the backyard and stuff. That was one of my biggest issues with my last landlord, was she started giving me hell about working on stuff. Either it was in the garage or this or that. And the roommates, I rented the top floor, and the bottom floor was a bunch of hipsters, and they were always complaining about gas smell or whatever it may be. I told them it was good for them. I put some chest on their hair. But they didn't listen. Unfinished project is in the chat. Neptune Green. What's going on, brother? Chris is saying, at least I will be tan until winter. Dakota's timeout is in the chat. Howdy, Dakota. How are you, man? 6% saying, I did 2 live streams from the track, and I'm editing a video about 3 days at No Name Nationals for early next week. Nice, man. Yeah, I'll be checking them out. I was joking around last year. I did a video with like the Twilight Zone theme music. And I was like, when you've watched 3 weeks of No Name Nationals. Dakota's saying the new timeout stuff, you can put someone timeout for 10 seconds or 24 hours. Yeah, it's kind of cool, huh? Chris Cadman's in the chat. Howdy, Chris. Teen saying chest on hair. Sounds like a British town. Like Stoke or Kent. Yeah, I don't know. Those guys were, they were always just battling me on something. I don't know. I think they were just unhappy with their lives and kind of taking it out on someone else, like so many people do. Sad as that is, it's a very common thing. But yeah, the landlord started hassling me about the Dart being in the backyard, which was where I had parked. The truck had been there for 8 years at that point, so the Dart was where the truck was. And I could get it if she wasn't into the Mopar thing, but she was just complaining about it. And she had these crappy old pavers that she was like, don't get oil stains on the pavers. Foggy's in the chat. Howdy, brother. But yeah, I told her, I was like, this kind of thing, this is what I do. You know what I mean? If I can't, do my business, if I can't live the kind of lifestyle I want to live here, despite paying for it, I have no business here. And I moved out. Yeah, those guys would complain about the truck being there. They'd complain about this. They'd complain about that. Bless them. All the same, well, my landlord and his family were Chevy guys. Didn't hassle me too much. Helped out with some engine swaps. Nice, man. Caesar said I need to move to La Puente. Caesar, I wouldn't mind, man. Problem is the hipsters drove up the price in LA too. You know what I mean? Everyone talks about Californians and whatnot. They neglect how much of the population is just transplants. All your guys as granola eating cousins moved out here, and they sway the vote more than the actual Californians. Caesar saying we all hold cars in front with beer bottles on top. Yeah, Caesar, got to get that 62 running. I did some good work on that 61. It's running nice now. And I got a little bit more to finish up, just cosmetic stuff they wanted me to do, but it's running nice, man. Chris Cadman saying, I had a nice motorcycle to look at. No, nice motorcycle ride to look at a 62 Chevy tow truck. Talk to the owner's sister. She wants it gone, sitting for years. Chris, a 62 wrecker? That's badass, man. I'd be jealous. I'd go up to Canada and buy it from you, man. That's a great year. That's what Caesar's got. Caesar got a really nice 62. And I've been working on that 61, which I tried to do a video about it. I was just, I'd been working all day. So I was talking on the video, and it was kind of like this. And I didn't want you guys to have a boring, monotone video. So I figured I'd get some caffeine in me and then try to do a video again. Caesar saying, let me know when I can drop it off. I'm waiting on you, brother. No rush. I could come up there and work on it, Caesar. As long as the city's not going to find you. I'm not sure what, I mean, I guess I have to look at it, see what stage it's in, what all it needs, but these trucks are, for me at least, they're semi-self-explanatory. You know, I mean, I could probably at least help you along some, man. That'd be cool. That's another thing too, is out here, you know, it used to be as simple as just, you know, finding yourself a warehouse space and opening up a single bay shop. But they don't zone anything for automotive work anymore, and, you know, your insurance is through the roof if they do. And, I mean, it's not sustainable, you know what I mean? It would have been a very cheap thing probably 20 years ago, and now it's become not sustainable. Dean's saying boring monotone. If it ever happens, we can auto-tune it. What am I missing? Dakota, you talking about your Dodge truck? All I'm saying, I don't really have any real brand loyalty, actually. You know, I like all the old cars, I really do. But Chevy, it's just easier. It's just all I'm saying, real estate speculators want to run out anything that doesn't seem higher class, corporate. Yeah, pretty much, Olive. It's not. Oh, we got. No, it's just the Metrolink. I was hoping it was BNSF. Mopar Man saying, hipsters in their stupid floppy stocking caps and skinny jeans. Yeah, pretty much, man. I don't know. It just kind of sucks, because, I mean, it's like you look at somewhere like Bakersfield. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't really fit the mold of what everybody thinks California is. Most of the state doesn't. Shell saying Mopar, baby. Shell, if you want to deal with the Mopar, that's fine. I'm just kidding. I like the Mopars. They're great. Once you learn the idiosyncrasies, they're all great. You know what I mean? I love Fords. I like Ford engines. I'm not big on working on Ford cars. Dakota saying, yeah, the Dodge truck. That's cool, Dakota. How's that one treating you? And you said the radiator's bad. It looked like it. I think I saw one short of it. It looked like it was in decent condition. And it's just cool you got your hands in it, I guess. Chris Cadman saying, how often do you have to move your house to another street? You know what? It's about that time. It's time. 6% has got to run. Take it easy, everyone. 6%. Have a great one, man. Thanks for stopping in, brother. I know Ricky's live right now from G-Ray Racing. It's probably more fun to watch than me yapping. Check him out. Check your fluids, brother. Dean saying it's too quiet? The truck or me? Shell saying, I just love old school muscle cars. I really don't care who made it. My dream is a 71 Hemi Cuda. It's a badass car, Shell. Did some work on a 70. Never 71. Rich is out saying, night all, be kind to one another. Thanks so much for stopping in, Rich. I appreciate you, brother. Be safe. Check your fluids, man. Dakota's saying, nice for a free truck. Yeah, man, you can't beat a free truck. Plus, you get it together, man. You got something to haul around engine blocks with and everything. That's great, man. You can't beat that. Who cares what badge is on it, you know? Pure Pontiac saying, old school muscle cars rule. Yeah, they sure do. Wish I could afford one. Quadribog. Why are you being like that? Are you still cold? She's still cold. Saddle horn. Mopar, man, there's this guy at the store I shop at, and he's got this man bun, and I'm always giving him this look like, you're like, really? You could have done anything. You paid money for that haircut. But that's one of those big Gen Z things. I see these kids, and I'm like, wow, you paid money for that. That was desirable to you. I don't understand. Not yet, Dean, not yet. Yeah, Dakota saying darn colored hair and shaved just on the side. It's pretty bad, man. It's like a Rod Stewart haircut, shaved on the sides. It's kind of pointy in the back. Olive, I don't know. You could see this, you'd comprehend that just fine. It's just a shitty haircut. It's like, come on, come on, man, come on, man. Dakota's saying they should make it legal to assault. Oh man, I'd have a new occupation, Dakota. Olive saying she had Susie Sue hair back in the day. That's pretty badass, Olive. I've had the same haircut since like 2008. You know, I saw my hair. It was like they call it like a mid something, they called it a low pompadour with a taper is what they called it at that barber shop. But it's, right now it's all long, but it's generally the same. And then when it's not combed, it looks all flock of seagulls. Dean saying, my daughter gets paid for doing haircuts like that. Good for her. You know what I mean? I mean, that's some, if they're going to pay for it, let her make a couple bucks. But man, I'm just astonished by it. Caesar's got a point saying it's cheaper to take the blade to it nice and smooth. Caesar, if my lady wouldn't gut me for it, I would have a buzz cut just like that. You know what I mean? Dakota knows how I feel. It's starting to get dark here. Got a black cloud. I like it. It's good. Maybe it'll keep everybody in the house. Dean's channeling the wild man of Borneo. Way down south in the town of Borneo. Way down in Borneo Bay. I love saying, I had like so much hair, I shaved the sides off of my head just to make it sit better. You couldn't tell unless I got pissed and flipped it all to one side. Detest. Dakota, there's honor in working for minimum wage. Don't let anybody tell you different. Got to start somewhere, right? Be nice if they raised up the minimum wage a little bit, though. Union scale honor. You know what's funny is the one union job I worked, I felt like it was just such an absolute sham. Benefits were good, but the contract was never enforced. Listen to me. That's how union I was. They're not enforcing the contract. Them skeeters are getting me or what? I don't see them, but I sure do feel them. I hate mosquitoes. I really do. Yeah, it's actually storming a little bit now. I thought it was going to stop. Oh, see, I didn't know Canelo was fighting Caesar. That's badass, man. Thanks so much. Enjoy yourself, brother. Have a couple beers for me, man. I'm going to watch that fight. They're probably playing it over El Coyotito. Chris Cadman saying, I did that center shave with the comb over. Got some hate for that. You talking about a high and tight, Chris? Pure Pontiac Garage is saying, when I started working, minimum wage was $2.30. When was that? When was that, John? It was like $8 when I started working. Chris is saying, P.S. I'm 58. $76, John. That's, yeah. I guess back then it might have. I guess it equaled out, right, or evened out. Yeah, I started working for $8. I worked in a pizza shop. Well, no, I worked in a fishing shop first. I worked like some kind of slave wages, and then I worked for $8 an hour in a pizza shop. I liked that job a bunch. I almost wish I could still just deal with pizza. Chris did you did an intentional cul-de-sac? Yeah, man, I wish I was around in the 70s. I would have done all right. Dakota, I always feel bad for you. Not because of your wage. No, I'm just kidding. I don't feel bad for you, man. I know you're doing all right, man. What the hell? You're doing your thing. Doing better than me when I was your age. What the hell, man? When I was your age, I sandblasted during the day and I bounced a bar on the weekends. I went from dealing with sand to dealing with salt. Flashbacks. All I'm saying, I think it might have been around there for me, Chris, when I was 15 and doing the supermarket thing. All of a sudden, the Firebird looked good at No Name Nationals. Yeah, that car is pretty sweet. Especially for just having a new engine swapped, well, new and different engine. Not new, I guess. Just it being swapped and everything. That was cool. You got it down the track, man. That was badass. Absolutely badass. Pure Pontiac Garage is saying gas was 58.9 cents when I started driving. Man. Chris is saying I was a sandblaster, terrible job. Yeah, yeah. I did a lot of like just random prep as well. Prep, sandblasting, powder coating. I did that during the day. And I had started doing security at some art galleries for my buddy Chris. So I had my guard card. And then I got offered a job at a local bar from one of At Zero's buddies. And I started doing that. And I did security like that on and off for the next like 10 years. I stopped about a year ago, 2 years ago now. I didn't want to be bouncing past the age of 30. I thought it would cause middle-aged self-hatred. Seemed kind of sad. Chicken hockey, you know what I mean? But yeah, sandblasting was no fun. I made, because though the bar I worked at was in a kind of a richer part of town, so you know, Greasy Palms, I made a lot of good money on the weekends, so it was kind of hard to let go. Mopar Man saying, Ari and Dakota need to move to the Ozarks. Mopar Man, I have seen Deliverance. I am not moving out there. I'm just kidding. I think I would. I'm really indifferent. Oil embargo. We don't do stuff with oil, man. We just kidnap Olympic teams. Good point there, Dakota. Oh, you're doing great, man. I mean, I really wish that I would have been doing the stuff you're doing at your age. You know what I mean? I worked on this truck, but that was real, you know, in a basic capacity. It took me years to start, you know. Look, I just finally swapped the engine out, man. But I don't know. Mopar Man saying Menards starts newbies at 16 an hour, even part-timers, and 18 an hour if you work weekends. It's like a couple bucks less than I was making at the hot rod shop, Mopar Man. All I'm saying, not bad, Mopar Man, even though I don't think I could take that jingle. Well, yeah, guys, I'm probably going to go ahead and call it. I'm going to probably get some lunch for myself now that the rain slowed down a little bit, and try to be semi-productive today, do something with myself. But, yeah, I think that's probably a good idea. Probably get out of the truck for a little while. But thanks so much for everybody that stopped in. I appreciate you guys. I'll definitely be live tomorrow night after the Tony. And you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. Be safe. Make sure, though, above all, check your fluids. Thanks, guys.